I'm going to be talking about R.G. Everson. Does anybody know of him? One hand, okay. Okay. I first read an R.G. Everson poem in high school, way back in the 70s. Its title was "Greeks Had Nothing Else to Do." And it opened the eyes of me, I was 16 at the time. How could one write about the Greeks and our world at the same time? Well, I found out tonight you could do it. Thanks, Claudia. And that's how it ended until 10 years ago when I started writing poetry again. What drew me back to him and to others of his age is that they lived the century. World War I, Depression, World War II, nuclear bombs, Cold War, and the personal computer. They saw it all. The same is true for guys like Bernie and Dudek, and of course Everson. R.G. Everson was also known, for those who don't know, his real name was Ronald Gilmore Everson. He was born in 1903 in Oshawa. He finished his law training in 1930, but did not practice law. He left Toronto and moved into a cabin near Huntsville, where he wrote short stories and poetry. He did manage to publish, but he could not make a living out of it. This is during the Depression. And so he left Huntsville and went to Montreal, where he worked in the PR field. He became a partner with Johnson, Everson, and Charles Worth until 1969 when he retired. While still having poems published in magazines and journals in the US and in Canada, it was not until 1957 that his first collection, 3 dozen poems, was published. Louis Dudek wrote that Everson's poems contained an estrogen pithy quality that vastly informed, and that is vastly informed and was uncanny about the ways of life. Others wrote that he had innocent vision and an innate conservatism with an entirely modern spirit. I take that to mean he was a man of his times. What I also find encouraging and amazing is that he became, in my mind, a true Montrealer. He didn't translate the French streets into English. Côte des Neiges stayed as Côte des Neiges. As opposed to some Anglophones in Quebec who would say Trois-Rivières is 3 rivers. R.G. Everson was a founding member of the League of Canadian Poets and of Delta Press, which went under many, many years ago. Despite all of his output, Everson never did win a Governor General's Award, and I have yet to find a reason why. And that's R.G. Everson's life, because that's about all I was able to find in a few afternoons looking over the web. Not much is known of his private life and things like that. I do know some of his letters and mementos are at McMaster University now. He wrote 13 books and chapbooks. These include A Lattice for Moos, published in 1958, Incident on Côte des Neiges and Other Poems in 1966, Indian Summer in 1976, and his last work, Poems About Me, published in 1990, 2 years before his death. So now I'm going to read 3 of his poems. First one is Greeks Have Nothing Else to Do. An ancient Greek awoke at dawn, shook loose his blanket, which he then put on, draping it elegantly around him for a cloak. Unhindered by TV, radio, books, newspaper, or breakfast, which he did not have, he went out against no traffic. Little wonder an Athenian soon got to work. It was right there, near home. When he returned at night, the classic soil stripped bare, classic light did not impose on him, lawn mowing. Also, Greeks did not go for women wooing. With nothing else to do, even I might romp, inventing choral odes all literature and thought, or run a foot race or a war against my city-state of Persian pomp. The next one is Incident on Côte des Neiges. Flesh of woman in party-colored hair and riding a quick convertible ran me over near yellow excavation earth and red board warnings as I was dodging motors under Montreuil, all Montreal in motion. This is love, the kindly coroner told me. Don't try to drag your body up the mountain. Nowhere is safe. Even large glacial stones mysteriously split wide open, and tender flowers forced their way through. And the last one is from his last collection, called Poems About Me. It's called Clothes Chute. It ran down from the 3rd floor to the cellar, the clothes chute. It was like a wooden chimney, only it was square and didn't go through the roof. I played in it by myself alone for many a year. There was a door opening on each of the floors. I could get in at it, the cellar, and hinch myself like Jean Valjean, or I got up on the 3rd floor and slid slowly to the 2nd floor, the 1st floor, and then down to the cellar. Once I fell from the 3rd floor to the cellar, but it was Sunday before the Monday wash, so I landed in a week's soiled clothes. I have ever since felt kindly towards my dirty clothes.